It all started on a seemingly ordinary night. I had gone to bed early, exhausted from a long day at work. As I drifted off to sleep, something felt off. A presence in the room that shouldn't have been there. I brushed it off as my mind playing tricks on me and tried to relax. But then I saw him. A tall, slender figure standing in the corner of my bedroom, wearing a wide-brimmed hat that cast his face in shadow. I froze, my heart pounding in my chest. He didn't move, didn't make a sound, just stood there, watching me. I blinked, and he was gone, vanished into thin air. I tried to convince myself it was just a dream, a trick of the mind caused by exhaustion. But deep down, I knew what I had seen was real. Over the next few weeks, the sightings became more frequent. I would catch glimpses of the Hat Man out of the corner of my eye, always in the same stance, always watching me. Sometimes he would appear in my bedroom, other times in the living room or even the kitchen. I started to lose sleep, paranoid that he would show up the moment I closed my eyes. I became jumpy and irritable, constantly looking over my shoulder, searching for that ominous figure in the shadows. One night, I decided to confront him. I waited up until the early hours of the morning, determined to get some answers. And sure enough, there he was, standing motionless in the corner of my bedroom. "Who are you?" I demanded, my voice trembling. "What do you want from me?" He didn't respond, didn't even acknowledge my presence, just stood there, watching me with those unseen eyes. I tried to approach him, but as soon as I took a step forward, he vanished again. It was like he was taunting me, playing mind games with my sanity. I became obsessed with researching this entity, scouring the internet for any information I could find. It seemed the Hat Man was a figure that had been reported in various cultures and folklore throughout history, often associated with death, misfortune, and malevolent entities. The more I learned, the more terrified I became. Some accounts claimed that the Hat Man was a harbinger of tragedy, appearing to individuals before a traumatic event or loss occurred in their lives. I started to wonder if his appearances were a warning, a sign that something terrible was about to happen to me or someone close to me. The thought kept me awake at night, consumed by dread and anxiety. One night, I decided to set up a camera in my bedroom, hoping to capture concrete evidence of the Hat Man's existence. I positioned the camera to face the corner where he often appeared, and hit record before going to bed. The next morning, I eagerly reviewed the footage, my heart racing with anticipation. And there he was, clear as day, the tall, slender figure in the wide-brimmed hat, standing perfectly still, watching me sleep. But then, something happened that chilled me to the bone. The figure slowly turned its head to face the camera, and for a brief moment, I caught a glimpse of what was underneath that hat. It wasn't a face, not even close, just a swirling vortex of darkness, like staring into the abyss itself. I recoiled in horror, slamming the laptop shut and cursing myself for ever trying to capture this entity on camera. From that point on, the sightings became even more frequent and unsettling. The Hat Man would appear in places he had never been before, like my workplace or the grocery store. Sometimes he would be closer than others, almost within arm's reach, before disappearing again. I became a shell of my former self, constantly living in fear and paranoia. I stopped going out, stopped seeing friends and family. My life revolved around the Hat Man and his relentless pursuit of me. One night, I hit my breaking point. I grabbed a baseball bat and waited in the living room, determined to confront this entity once and for all, no matter the consequences. Sure enough, he appeared, materializing out of the shadows as if he had always been there. I gripped the bat tightly, my knuckles turning white with rage and fear. "Leave me alone!" I screamed, swinging the bat wildly in his direction. "Get out of my life!" But the bat passed through him harmlessly, as if he were made of smoke. He didn't even flinch, didn't react in any way, just stood there, watching me with that impenetrable gaze. I collapsed to the floor, sobbing uncontrollably. I had reached my breaking point, completely consumed by the torment this entity had inflicted upon me. And then, as quickly as it had started, it was over. The Hat Man simply vanished. No warning, no explanation, just gone, like he had never existed in the first place. To this day, I have no idea what the Hat Man was or what he wanted from me. So the next time you feel like you're being watched, even when you are all alone, maybe you are, and maybe, just maybe, the Hat Man is closer than you think.